Good, thank you. Hi everyone, how are you? Nice to see you. Last time we touched a little bit the subject of medicine and Shabbat. And today, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to make it more, we'll go to the details and we'll talk about everything, B'ezrat Hashem. And so, let me start with nice Dvar Torah, and then we'll go to speak about how to deal with sick people on Shabbat. So this Dvar Torah was given once by Harav Mordechai Eliyahu, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, and he told this story about there was this big rabbi. He once came to our community many years ago. His name was Rab Shabtai Yudelevich, a rabbi from Yerushalayim, and he told once this story about a man that a nail, came inside his foot. Yeah? So he went to the doctor, and the doctor removed it. But the doctor saw that this nail was very rusted. Oh, it can get infected. So quickly he prescribed him. He did some compounds and some pills. He prescribed, so you should go to the pharmacy and get those things. Thank you. And so he goes over there. He tells him you're supposed to take these pills, especially at the beginning, few times a day. And so as the pharmacist is trying to work on the compound, the man that had this nail inside started questioning and asking him all kind of questions. What are the ingredients inside this compound and inside these pills? What is the reason that he puts them in? What's the how it affects him, and how what's the meaning of this, and what's the idea of all this, and all these questions. And the pharmacist is telling him, to understand all what I do, it will take you years, because I studied this in a pharmacy school, and it takes time to understand. So meanwhile, you just take the medicine, and you have to rely on me and on your doctor that prescribed these pills, that he knows what is he doing. He tells him, no, I insist, I have to understand, I have to know what's the idea of these pills, and why do you put this stuff inside, and so on and so on. And if you're not telling me, I'm not going to take them. He tells him, well, it's up to you if you want to take them or you don't want to take them, but you should know that if you don't, it will just damage you. You're going to get more sick, and it's going to get infected, and you're going to have a problem, a big problem. So he tells him, but I don't want to take it. He tells him, listen, if you don't want to take it, it's up to you. My obligation is to prepare it to you. It's your thing if you want to do it or not, if you want to take it or not. But for now, take it. Later on, you have the time, you have the whole time in the world, sit and learn, and you will understand too. Basically, this is a mashal, and the nimshal is something like that. Sometimes the laws of the Torah, especially when we learn now laws of Shabbat, it looks like so many details. It looks like we go to details in every aspect of all whatever we do, and sometimes it looks like it's a burden and it's too much, and what's the point and what's the reason? But they say, Shlomo Melech says in Sefer Mishlei that laws of the Torah are rifut tehi lesharecha v'shikui la'atzmotecha. It's going to be a health for your sharecha. Sharecha it is your belly button. Your belly button, the belly button is where the baby is connected the most to his mother, and is fed by her. Okay, connected to her and fed by her. And the idea is, for us, Torah, okay, is not just a code of laws and stuff that we have to do. It's a healing system for us. Now think about this. Sometimes medicine are so bitter to the human being. Sometimes it makes you feel so bad. You don't like it. It makes you feel drowsy. Make you feel all kind of things. But the Torah is a healing thing, even mentally, it gives you so much peace of mind, and it's so good for you. So finishes Rav Mordechai and said that that sometimes it looks like it's not comfortable, it's not understandable, the laws, but it's for our own good. It's shikui latzmotecha. It's like a potion to your bones. It's good. Don't worry. And like Bnei Yisrael said, Naaseh v'nishma in Har Sinai, first we'll do, and then we'll understand. Okay, this is the beauty of Am Yisrael. So as we start talking about sick people and medicine on Shabbat, so we have to understand certain things. There are some life-threatening situations, okay? There is something that's called choleh sheyesh bo sakana. Choleh sheyesh bo sakana means if a person is sick in a way that his life is in danger, okay? We have to do whatever we can to save his life, okay? We'll talk about the details. There is something that's called choleh she'en bo sakana. He is sick, but it's not dangerous to his life. He has high temperature, he is dehydrated, a woman that's in labor, a baby, an infant that, is sick. There's all kinds of situations, okay? זה חולה שאין בו סכנה. He is sick, but it's no danger in his life. What is allowed to this kind of a people, okay? So we're going to, B'ezrat Hashem, cover these things, and let's go now slowly with the details. Now, sick people that, let's start with choleh she'en bo sakana. Choleh she'en bo sakana is mostly people that feel not well on Shabbat, all kind of health problems that they have, and he cannot hold himself. He needs to lay down. He has temperature, very high temperature, all kind of situations that can happen that it's hard for him. He cannot focus. He is very painful. He has pains, whether it's his back, whether it's his head, whether it's whatever. And so, this kind of a person that's called choleh she'en bo sakana, we're allowed to do things for him through a non-Jew. Okay? Through a non-Jew. Choleh she'en bo sakana, non-Jewish person.
Non-Jew. I heard non-Jew, like some kind of Jew.
Non-Jewish person.
Non-Jew.
So,
like one word.
So, a non-Jewish person can do certain things for this choleh, for this sick person. Like sometimes if he needs hot water, so he's allowed to cook for him, or put hot water for him, make hot water for him, do certain stuff, take him to the hospital with a car if needed sometimes, okay? So these are some things that a goy, that a non-Jew can do for a Jewish person. Yes.
But you can't tell him them, right?
Okay, telling goy how to do, there's also a way. Now, it's not allowed. There's isur mid'Rabbanan. The Rabbanan is rabbinical. Yeah, there's Torah, there's rabbinical. There's isur rabbinical to ask a goy to do something for you on Shabbat, even though he's allowed. It's not a problem for him, because King Yeshayahu says, "Mimtzo chefzecha v'daber davar." On Shabbat, the spirit of Shabbat is supposed to be different than a spirit of other days. The way we talk on Shabbat, the way that we conduct ourselves on Shabbat is supposed to be different on regular days. So even as we ask things, the goy, there's a way how to ask. And whenever there is a choleh she'en bo sakana, like in this situation, you're allowed to tell the goy to do whatever is needed, because rabbis, the rabbis, didn't make a gzera, okay, a decree, a gzera, ela this kind of gzerot b'makom choli. Whenever there is a sick people, they didn't put these restrictions like in other times. Okay, so what? Let's start telling what we're allowed to say or to do to this choleh she'en bo sakana. Let's say there's this sick person that he has strong pains in his body. All his body is aches. He lays down. He cannot pick up his head. Okay, so for them, you're allowed to do. They're allowed to take medicine. They're allowed to take pills. Okay, syrups, drops. Okay, whatever they need, because they cannot even pick up their head. It's so hard for them. It's okay, no problem. choleh, שאין בו sakana. If there are some people that their situation is not severe, is not severe, זה נקרא מתחזק והולך כבריא. He can walk. Okay, he feels uneasy. Okay, but he has some back pains. It's not so bad. He has some headache, but it's not so bad. He can continue on. He can speak with his wife. He can speak with his parents. He can eat something. He can go. He can come. He can go to shul. It's not so bad. So this type of people, they say, better not to take pills. And I explained last time why not to take pills. מפני שחיקת סממנים. Because those days, you had to go, you didn't go to the pharmacy like today, and the pharmacy just gives you pills or prepares the compound. They had to do these things from scratch. They grind all kind of herbs, they grind all kind of medicine, they put together all kind of stuff. They do compound, they work on it, either by spreading, either by drinking, eating, or whatever. Sometimes they have to cook it, sometimes they have to, all kind of stuff that people used to do. So years ago, people had to do everything from scratch. Therefore, they didn't allow people to take medicine in this kind of situation. Today, it's easier. Okay? It's easier. So, if you feel good and you can hold on till the evening and take then the Tylenol, it's better. If people cannot pick up their head and it's hard for them, or the tooth, it's so much painful, or whatever, then they say, if you have to today, it's easier. You can take pills. Tylenol, Advil, whatever, Motrin,
You're not
other stuff.
preparing it, it's already
No,
ready.
you're right. You're not preparing it. It's already
So
ready.
has
So
to
it is easier. Now, whoever started to take prescribed pills, medicine from before Shabbat, could be antibiotics, could be some other things for the body, whatever it is, for the kidneys, for the head, for the, I don't know, whatever. So if he started taking it on a daily basis, few days before Shabbat, he has to continue taking it. He doesn't have to stop taking it because of Shabbat, okay? Because if you won't take it, it could damage it, it could start it all over, it could get worse or whatever. So you continue taking these pills on Shabbat, no problem. Okay, whoever is used to take vitamins, it's not a medicine. Vitamin is something that you take, even healthy people take them, not only sick people. If you started taking it, you're taking it every day on a daily basis, you can take it also on Shabbat, okay? Because it's not medicine, it's a vitamin. You don't start taking medicine on Shabbat for the first time. If it's something that you have to continue taking, you don't start a vitamin B or multivitamin on Shabbat. If you didn't take it before, start it on Sunday. It's not nothing so urgent that you have to take it on Shabbat. But if you started it a while ago and you continued and taking every day a pill, 2 pills or whatever, you can continue taking on Shabbat, not a problem. Pills that are for to calm the people, that are sometimes to relax the nerves, or anxiety and stuff like that. Also, if a person has to take it, he can taking it also on Shabbat. Whoever cannot sleep and he really suffers from it, he didn't sleep already for a while, and then he really suffers from this, can take sleeping pills if he has to. If somebody feels light pains, let's say in his stomach, light pains, not a big deal, he says, but he can walk, he can go, he feels healthy, So they say he shouldn't take some medicine to for making his bowel movement, or some people they take certain oils like a castor oil, paraffin oil, and stuff like that. But he can drink, let's say, tea with lemon, because healthy people drink tea with lemon too, and this can, let's say, make it easy for him. Okay, this kind of stuff is not a problem. If he needs to take something because he has, let's say, diarrhea, because he has it's allowed, he can take it, because also a healthy person can take this type of stuff. I didn't talk about kids, little babies yet. I'll talk about them later on. That if a little boy suffers from diarrhea, okay, definitely is כבר choleh שיש בו sakana. You have to deal with this. You have to take care of this. People who has to take certain medicine in order for them to digest their food. They cannot digest their food. Okay, if they take it on a regular basis, also can take it. It's not a problem. Okay, if somebody has some kind of cold, it's not temperature, and it's not a flu. It has some cold. He has some stuff. Nose. He coughs or something. Here he cannot really take medicine, they say, unless he cannot pick up his head. This already becomes something else. But otherwise, they say better not to take no syrups and no drops or anything. You know, we can wait with this until after Shabbat and then start taking something. If somebody really has a very strong cold, he can. They say he can smell the Vicks. This, yeah, you can smell it, no problem. Okay. Whoever has problems with the eyes, they say eyes is usually you don't play with this. If he has disease or sickness in his eyes or infection, okay, he takes whatever he needs to take for that. Whoever has nebulizers, that's a question that a lot of people ask for little kids. So there is a machine for cold water, okay, and there's a machine for hot water. Machine for cold water, you're allowed to, if it was already on the plug, okay, plugged before Shabbat, okay, so you're allowed to add cold water on Shabbat, and some people say better to add it by little kids. It's even better. Hot water, it's some rabbis they don't allow to add water because unless you take it from, let's say, from the hot plate, or when you add hot water inside, and because this kind of machines, there's all kind of varieties, and there's all kind of children that has all kind of needs. For these kind of questions, you have to specifically ask a rabbi before Shabbat. Rabbi, what should I do? What am I allowed? What I'm not allowed? Sometimes by a goy, if a goy comes and turns it on, you're allowed to. There are certain situations when the child has to inhale it, let's say, every 2 hours. There's certain situations that he gets an attack, and you need right away to take care of this. So you have to ask in advance before Shabbat, in this particular situation of your child, what's allowed, what's not allowed. It depends on the machine that you have. It depends on other stuff as well. Whoever has needs to put injections on Shabbat, okay, also choleh she'en bo sakana is allowed to get injected. People who have diabetes and they have to take insulin, okay, no problem. They have to continue taking it on Shabbat too, because insulin is very important. They shouldn't miss a day. They should continue taking it, not a problem. Now, when you have to take, this is, by the way, it's something that concerning squeezing on Shabbat. That's not allowed too. When, let's say, you want to inject somebody first you have to put alcohol, right? To rub alcohol, to clean the place. You cannot use
Alcohol as well?
huh?
Or cotton?
Cotton balls. You cannot use cotton balls because when you take cotton balls and you put alcohol inside, you squeeze it. So this you cannot do. Squeezing on Shabbat, it's a problem. So they say if you can have, let's say, a synthetic brush. Synthetic brush, they say it's easier. It's not a cotton ball, and it doesn't absorb like cotton, or you don't squeeze it. So if you can put it with this, it's better. Or just drop some alcohol on top of the place, I guess. So that's fine. Now, if you have to take temperature on Shabbat, how do you do? So we cannot use digital thermometers, right? We have to use the regular ones, the old-fashioned, the mercury. Today they have it without mercury, so it's even safer. Yeah, I saw in CVS last week, they have without mercury, the old style, and you can even shake it to lower it, and so that it starts all over. Okay, you cannot rub this thermometer with some ointment or Vaseline. That's not allowed. But if you really need, sometimes people have to put it in the rectum or something. If you really need, you can put it into oil. Oil is watery. Okay, this is much easier. This is fine, no problem.
Oil.
Oil, in oil, yeah.
Oil we can use?
Yeah, oil you can use because it's like watery.
Even on the thing?
For what? For cleaning?
Let's say to take off makeup.
This is something
In
else.
the morning.
This is something else. Let's not confuse. I'll answer it later.
Okay.
Okay. A person cannot weight himself on Shabbat. Okay, this is not allowed on Shabbat. But if he is a sick person and the doctor needs to know, let's say his weight after each meal or something, or the babies or something, specifically he told you to do that, so you're allowed to do it. Better, of course, not the digital ones, the manual ones, of course. If somebody has a cut and he's bleeding, okay, and it's a very small cut, it's not a big, it's not deep, it's on the surface only. You have to wash it as much as you can with water, okay, so you don't have to put white cloth on it. White cloth, you put it on it, it gets colored. So it's better just to wash it and wash it until it stops bleeding, and then you could put a band-aid on it or something like that. Okay, so and we cannot really also put ointment on it. We cannot rub on Shabbat. We cannot spread things on Shabbat. We cannot spread the ointments and stuff. Also, let's say, we'll talk later about, let's say, diaper rash. Yeah, the baby has a diaper rash, so you cannot take the desert in and smear it all over his body or wherever he has this diaper rash. What you could do is, before Shabbat, you can squeeze either you squeeze from the tube, just squeeze, don't smear it, it's going to be done by itself, or the baby by itself, on top of the diaper, and you close the diaper on the baby, and that's fine. Or you can put it before Shabbat on the diapers.
No.
Also, if you have to put medicine, if you have to, on Shabbat, we cannot put, as I said, all these ointments and stuff. Yeah. But if you prepare some gauze before Shabbat with this ointment on top, okay, then you can take it and just put it and cover it, and it's fine. On Shabbat, we cannot really smear it on top of the wound. We're allowed to put iodine on top of this wound so it won't get infected. Yod.
How? Not with Q-tip,
Because it's a
right?
water.
Not with a Q-tip. So they say, take this synthetic brush and use synthetic brush, they say, so that, we won't squeeze on Shabbat. If you
But
have
there's
a big
tube that you could use as well. No, the tube that's
iodine,
yeah, for
Yeah, they have with the
you could do
stick,
that too.
plastic.
The stick, it comes with a plastic with stick.
yeah.
You could use already.
Okay, I don't use iodine for a long time already, so I don't know. If you have too much of a bandage, I mean too big, you cannot really cut it on Shabbat, and you cannot tear it and make a knot afterwards. You know, you want to bandage something, you cannot make a knot, or so. Either you cut it before Shabbat if you know that you have you'll need to change this bandage few times. You cut all this before Shabbat, prepare it also with whatever you need to put on the medicine or whatever, so you can do it. But you can tie it with a regular knot only, a regular knot that can get opened very easy. You know, so you can open it that same day and change it. This kind of a way, it's not a problem. You don't close it so strong that it can hold if you don't touch it more than a week, you know, like that. It has to be disposable, something that you can change it right away. And you can, or you can just close it with a safety pin or a special clamp, bandage clamps that they have, okay, but not to cut or to do double knots and stuff. You're allowed to add a band-aid that is cut before Shabbat in a special way, like a butterfly knot, butterfly. So you're allowed to attach it on you to bring, you know, like a butterfly, to bring the, how you call it?
Making like a knot.
No.
The butterfly.
It attaches to pieces to bring its, you know, sometimes you need to, butterfly, right. You're allowed to remove a band-aid, even, let's say you have some hair stuck to it, even if you're removing some hair, because you're really not intending to remove hair this way, but if you have to remove it, you remove it. It's okay. Whoever got burned, well, I know, right? Mm-hmm. So first thing usually, first aid is to put cold water. Continue having running cold water on top of it. Huh? You're allowed to put powder on it. There's a medicine powder, like dermatol and stuff like that. You're allowed to put it and then as I said before, you don't take ointment and smear it. Just put it on top of the band-aid, and the band-aid you put it this, and it's going to be stuck with this on its own.
And toothpaste? Toothpaste?
Toothpaste? So toothpaste again, you take it, you put it on top of the, let's say, the gauze, and let it on it. Don't
Like this.
Don't rub it on it with this. Okay, if there is a spraying, somebody spraying his foot, his hand, his something. Somebody has an inflammatory in his body, inflammation or veins. So you can do a compress on Shabbat. Now, doing compress, you have to be careful again not to squeeze. If you can prepare this compresses before Shabbat, okay, you have some water, or because you cannot really do it on Shabbat. If you can prepare it before Shabbat, and then you just put it on this painful place, it's better. If you don't, they say you have to take a clean cloth and put just a little bit water so you won't squeeze it, and put it on this painful place, and that's the way that they say it's okay. If people have to put back a bone that came out from some reason, it's not a problem. You can do it on Shabbat. Whoever has a stiff neck or back and suffers from this very much, people are allowed to make a massage to him if it's very hard for him, okay? And okay, you on Shabbat, let's say little baby, you're allowed to rub his body as I said, let's say he has a diaper rash or something, with a liquid, not with an ointment that is thick. Like, let's say you take a baby oil, you're allowed to rub baby oil on the baby, on his body, with his hand only, right? But not with a cotton ball or any other things. This is if the baby needs, this. Also, if somebody has very dry lips, you cannot put chapstick or something on
Vaseline.
Vaseline is thick. If you really, really need, take some oil. You can
Oil.
put some oil. This is
Oil on
liquid.
my face?
Liquid. Now this is for you want to do it for cleaning.
Beauty.
For wrinkles, for dry.
Huh?
If it's dry skin.
This okay. You can take if you need to clean your makeup. There is makeup removers based on soap. You
With
just
your
go
hands.
with your hand and you clean it, and it's perfect. It looks fine. You don't need to take any tissue or any nothing. A child can take all kind of drops for the ears, for the nose, for the eyes, whether it's pills or syrups or whatever, no problem. Somebody asked me last time if it's allowed to smash a medicine to give a child. It's allowed, it's fine, okay? It's okay. If this is the only way he can take medicine, it's okay on Shabbat. Whoever sweats a lot is allowed to put talc, regular talc,
talk.
talc,
Like baby powder.
baby powder.
Baby powder.
Okay. A simple one.
דורדורן מותר?
לא, דאודורנט לא.
בשבת אסור?
There's a
דאודורנט.
spray one.
Spray.
Spray one.
Spray is okay. Spray is okay. אבל... That's true? Okay. Whoever has to go through an operation, when needs to get operated, and he has a chance, he has a choice to decide which day of the week he can do it, don't do it 3 days before Shabbat, because they say that if you come to a situation right afterwards that you don't feel good, they will violate the Shabbat for you. So if you can do it right after Shabbat, it's fine. But if it's a life-threatening, of course, as we said before, you don't hesitate, you don't postpone, you don't ask twice, you have to do, no problem. We don't exercise on Shabbat. and we don't massage people that are healthy, that have no problem. For start, we don't do it. You're allowed to pray for sick people on Shabbat. That's a question that I get very often. There is a pasuk that we say. Usually, Shabbati milizok u'rfuah krova lavo. But if to pray for sick people, it's not a problem. It's fine. Once there was this man that they didn't keep Shabbat. He had his toe opened on Shabbat. And some time later, he got sick, very, very hard disease. They called the best doctors, and they couldn't cure him. Didn't find any, couldn't cure him, and they got desperate already. They said there's no hope. So he asked one of the rabbis, and he asked him, maybe you can pray for me so that I'll get better, I'll get healthy. The rabbi said that in the halacha it says that if there is a sick person on Shabbat, you say Shabbat milizok u'rfuah krova lavo. Don't cry so much, and Hashem will help. It says in Masechet Shabbat. And the idea is that the Shabbat is crying out for all these people who violate the Shabbat. And it continues crying, as long as it continues crying for the fact that people violate the Shabbat, so there won't be any remedy, there won't be any refuah for these people. But if he's going to take upon himself keeping Shabbat, so this is when the Shabbat is going to, with the merit of this, the Shabbat is going, Bezrat Hashem is going to get healthy. He decided he takes upon himself to close his store on Shabbat, and he got healthy. So, so there's a very strong linkage with these things. Now, what about choleh sheyesh bo sakana? People that they have life-threatening situation. Okay, if somebody needs to take care of this type of a person, you have to do everything as fast as you can. Don't wait, or maybe it's not allowed. Maybe it's chulul Shabbat. Maybe you have to do whatever you have to do to take care of this person. And but now, and it says in the Torah, "Asher yaseh otam ha'adam v'chai bahem." V'chai bahem means the Torah was given to us so that we're going to live. We're going to live, not that we're going to die. So whatever is needed for life-threatening situation, okay, no problem. We have to do. Now, even if it's going to help him only for 1 hour to live, the dying person. If you're going to prolong his life, you're going to make him feel, a bit better at that time, it's a mitzvah to help this person, okay? Whoever violated the Shabbat for pikuach nefesh, because it was life-threatening, but then realized that there was no really need for that, the sick person felt better by himself, or somebody else did the same for him too, and he didn't really have to go out of his way or drive him to the hospital or something like that. So he made a mitzvah, nothing to worry, okay? This is about life-threatening. Years ago, it used to be that whenever people used to call 911 or the Hatzala or I don't know, the police or whatever, or any other regular number, so if he doesn't put the receiver back in place, so he cannot get any more phone calls. He doesn't have a line in his house, and the other side also cannot really get phone calls, and it would be a problem. Let's say if 911 cannot get phone calls, okay, so people, therefore, they say that they can put back the receiver on Shabbat. Today we don't have this problem, Baruch Hashem.